Good morning, students of class 10, right? You know that we are going through this pandemic situation, and with the sudden order of the district magistrate, we are not able to have our online classes through Skype. So, an online interaction or a direct interaction through the classes, it's not possible, right? But we cannot stop our studies, we cannot end learning. So the Burdwan Model School have started giving offline videos. The whole week you are going to have offline videos through YouTube and through the e-portal. You know how to use the e-portal, and if you have any queries you can ask through the e-portal, right? And when we will resume the online classes through Skype, I think that we will very short discussions will be going. If you have any queries, any discussions, any understanding problem of these parts, but that doesn't mean that you are not going to watch the online videos or the offline classes, right? Okay, so class 10, in my history chapter, as I remember that in my last class we have discussed in both the sections we have discussed about the Salmon Commission, how it came to India, and how the protest against Salmon Commission was done, and how in 1929 Jawaharlal Nehru, he from the Congress background, he from the Congress platform of the annual Congress meeting, he declared that Purna Swaraj is now the demand of Indian National Congress. That means complete independence is demanded nowadays. Okay, so we have seen that he has also discussed or declared that 1930, the next year, on 26 January, it will be celebrated as the Independence Day. And I have told you that on that very day, on 26 January 1930, people from India, people in different parts and corners of India, they really celebrated the Independence Day. And the attitude was, whether you give us independence or not, whether you believe in giving independence or not, we are going to celebrate it. Okay, so I will continue from that. When that celebration took place, when that celebration was fulfilled and the whole popular people, they started participating in that kind of movement, Gandhiji again came in the front row. Gandhiji again came in the front row and started something. What he did, that on 31st January 1930, on 31st January 1930, he sent a letter to the Viceroy. Who was the Viceroy that time? His name was Lord Irwin. So Irwin, okay, IRWIN. So Lord Irwin, he wrote to him, he wrote a letter. And in that letter, he demanded 11 demands. And among those demands, one of the very important demand was abolition of salt tax. Now today I will discuss about what is the salt tax and why Gandhiji demanded the abolition of salt tax. Salt tax was such that India is such a country where the temperature is hot and humid, and as we work, as we go outside, we sweat a lot. You can imagine from the present scenario, from the present weather and climate, that we sweat a lot, right? As we sweat a lot, the important salts of our body, the important ingredients, that is the salt of our body, along with some minerals, they go away by the sweat. And if we have to survive, if we want to survive in a very healthy manner, then we should eat salt. We should eat salt in some way or the another. We put the salt in the cooking. Sometimes we make the juice. Sometimes we make the lemon tea. Sometimes we make only ORS, through which minerals and salt to enter our body. when some people become very weak and go to the hospital, you know that saline is given to them, right? Saline is what? Saline water means salty water with some kind of minerals which is not available in that body, right? So in India, salt was a very important component of everyday life. And in India, as we have the total southern India as a seashore, we didn't have a problem of making salt. By boiling the sea water, very easily we can make salt. The British government, as I told you earlier, that always remember that the British government, when they came to India, they came as traders. As they came as traders, they always wanted to trade, to take money. And they suddenly understood or suddenly saw that salt is such a component from where they are not taking any tax. So they put a huge tax on salt. And not only that, they also said that no Indian could make salt by boiling the sea water, which means the poor section of the society, maybe they will eat, or maybe they used to eat only rice and salt. They didn't have the option of cooking chicken, mutton, egg curry and biryani and all. They didn't have the option. They didn't have the option to make the veg curries and dal and paneer. They only had the option of having maybe some kind of dal and maybe the salt and rice. That's enough. But that right of healthy eating was also taken away from the poor Indians by putting the salt tax. So Gandhiji, he thought that this salt can be a very important issue in protesting against the Britishers. So he took this issue and he demanded that the salt tax should be abolished in his 11 demand letter to Lord Irwin. Not only that, he also said that if these demands are not fulfilled by 11th March 1930, the Congress will start a new mass movement which is known as civil disobedience movement in India against the British government. And definitely the British government, especially Lord Irwin, the Viceroy, he didn't care about Gandhiji's letters. So all the demands were not fulfilled, all the demands were not given any kind of attention. So as Gandhiji said that he started to walk from his Sabarmati ashram, which is in Gujarat, in the month of March, and he walked for 24 days and he walked continuously, definitely not at night. He walked for 24 days and he walked 240 miles. That means 10 miles per day. And on 5th April, he reached a seashore town of Gujarat called Dandi. And after reaching there, the next day, that means 6th April 1930, by boiling the ocean water, he ceremonially broke the salt law. And he announced the starting of a civil disobedience movement where the Indians were told that they will definitely break the rules and regulations of the British government in India, right? So here I'll stop, and my next video I'll talk about the growth of the civil disobedience movement. Thank you.